Welcome to this short video on the best practices for teamwork. What is teamwork? That is a good question. Teamwork means working on a task in association with others. Of course, this is a rather simplistic explanation of the complex phenomenon known as teamwork. Perhaps the best way to define teamwork is to let your team define it for themselves. This will result in a far more important definition. Perhaps something more along these lines. Teamwork is when a group of people work together cohesively towards a common goal and support each other in order to combine individual strengths to enhance team performance. It is clear that teamwork has several advantages. Teams are best equipped to handle work that combines individuals' particular talents and skill sets. In these cases, teamwork can create synergy and bring people together with a common sense of purpose. By applying their personal strengths in the same direction, team members can be united through a sense of camaraderie and shared vision. According to Andrew Carnegie, working together towards a common vision is the ability to direct individual accomplishment towards organizational objectives. Teamwork is the fuel that allows ordinary people to achieve extraordinary results. Establish trust in the team. Trust is the foundation of teamwork. This involves the understanding that while your team will be working together on a task, each individual will remain autonomous, and co-workers will not step on each other's toes. When you do not trust your teammates, you might be tempted to step all over them. How do you establish trust in your team? This can be done by setting clear expectations and holding yourself and your team members accountable to those expectations. This can be as simple as writing down what you expect from your teammates, as well as setting expectations for yourself. It is especially important for team leaders to acknowledge when they are not performing up to par, and to then take steps to improve. This is a way of showing team members that you trust them to hold you accountable. Your team will respect you more if they see you as a person who has faults, and who is working to make improvements. This is a wonderful way to build trust and create a team atmosphere of collaboration and accountability. Understanding yourself in a team setting. If you want to be an effective team member, it is important to understand how you work best and how you work with others. Teamwork is not a one-size-fits-all skill set, it is an ever-changing blend of talents, skills, and interests that each team will have to find together. You cannot force this blend, but the process of discovering is what makes teamwork so interesting. In some teams, members might have skill sets that complement each other really well, while others will have team members whose complementary skills are not quite as useful in relation to the task at hand. It is the responsibility of each individual team member to understand themselves in a team setting. You might, for example, be the kind of person who likes to lead, or you might prefer to follow. Either way, you need to know yourself in order to make the best decision for your team. Understand others in your team. When it comes to building trust and collaboration within a team, it can be just as important to understand your team members as it is to understand yourself. You can begin to understand your team members better by engaging in active listening rather than just passively hearing what they are saying. This includes taking note of their body language and what they are saying with their tone of voice. It is also important not to interrupt your teammates when they are speaking. This shows them the same respect that you would like to receive when sharing your thoughts and opinions. By doing this, you can build trust in your team and create a collaborative atmosphere. You can also learn what your teammates need from the team. While it is important to have team-wide goals, it is also important to know what each team member needs to accomplish and help them do so. Define roles inside the team. For teamwork to be effective, team members need to understand the roles and responsibilities inside the team. For example, the team leader may need to assume the position of follower in certain aspects or tasks of a team's undertakings. Similar to setting clear expectations for yourself, it is also important to ensure that all team members are on the same page when it comes to their expectations of one another. Talk to your teammates in order to discover where their strengths lie, what they might be good at, and what their roles and responsibilities on the team should be. Roles can be as simple as working with others on a task, such as brainstorming, or as complex as checking to ensure that everyone is following the same protocol in a business process. Set ground rules for the team. Another important team building activity is setting ground rules for the team. This is important because it creates an atmosphere of accountability in your team and shows your team members that you trust them to follow those rules. Ground rules for the team do not only have to be about following team policies or procedures. They can also be about keeping the team focused on the task at hand and respecting one another's skills and abilities. It is important to set ground rules for the team that encourage a display of trust and respect among teammates. An example of this can be as simple as allowing team members to discuss and vote on team decisions. Conduct negative polling in your team. Negative polling is when you ask the team probing questions where you expect to get negative answers. Here it can really help to have a team member who is willing to be the bad guy to conduct negative polling. This can be an important exercise to help your team realize the limitations of their skills and where they need to work on improving them. While it forces your team to acknowledge their weaknesses, it also pushes them to improve those weaknesses. Negative polling is not necessarily a bad thing and can add to your company. This feedback can sometimes be the reason for a project to be approached or carried out successfully. Make sure to conduct positive and negative polling in your team for the best outcome on projects, tasks, and your team itself. Give and accept feedback in your team. Giving and receiving feedback is yet another important part of team building. As a team leader, you have to be willing and ready to give feedback to your team members. This can be a hard thing to do, but it is important because it helps your team to see and improve their weaknesses. Providing your team member with feedback also shows them that you trust and respect them. You also have to be willing to receive feedback from others. This can be just as challenging, but just like the other members of your team, you need to be made aware when you are not performing the way that you should. A willingness to receive feedback shows your team that you are willing to work on improving your own faults. Team building is not a one-way street. For feedback to be effective, you need to both give and receive it. Take time for reflection in your team. This does not only have to be about the work that you have done for the day or week, it can also be about the work that your team has done in the past. Reflection is an important team building exercise as it can help teams to see and appreciate the big picture and how different individual parts contribute to the whole. Reflection can help improve the work that is being executed and the way your team works together or as individuals. Make sure to give your team feedback after reflecting on their progress and processes. A team needs feedback to grow and improve their teamwork skills. View team building as an ongoing activity. Teamwork is an ongoing and important process in every organization. You can cultivate certain team values by implementing regular team building activities that challenge your team in the specific areas where you would like them to grow and develop. If you want to promote collaboration and communication within your team, for example, you can implement a series of team building activities that challenge the team in a variety of ways. This can include intellectual challenges, like finding a solution to a problem, creative challenges, like designing and producing a product, or visual challenges, like creating a team-building poster or diagram. Make sure to have team-building activities on a regular basis. For example, if every month you have a different type of team-building activity, then you know that the team will become stronger and closer every time there is such an activity. Make sure that the team is progressing and take time to evaluate how the team improves after every month's team building. Teams work much better when they understand the concept of teamwork and what it includes. A team can help each other and improve in areas where other team members might not perform as well. Know when to lead and when to step back in a team. There are times when you need to encourage people to be more creative and independent or to put their ideas forward. In these cases, you need to lead the team and encourage them to explore, promote, and implement their ideas. At times, however, you need to step back and let your team experience failure and allow them to try again and learn perseverance. When you lead a team, you will likely set the tone for the way both positive and negative experiences are interpreted and processed. It is important to be aware of this and to adapt the tone of your leadership to suit the team and environment. However, you should make sure when you step back that you do not reflect as absent or lazy. The same with leading, make sure that you come across as a leader and someone to turn to when your team members need guidance. Teamwork is important in any organization. When done right, teamwork can build strong relationships and positive working environments. When a team is struggling to work together, it's important to remember that individuals are more important than the tasks they need to perform. Every person brings something unique to the table, and it's the entire team's responsibility to acknowledge and appreciate these individual contributions. Teamwork can certainly be challenging, but it can also be easy and efficient if you know how to approach it the right way. Thank you for watching this video on the best practices for teamwork.